It didn't sound anything like our music.
Okay, well, you do it then. Yeah, but I still don't think that sounded like it.
You don't?
The beginning part, but then the last part. That was pretty good.
Hello, and welcome to the Orphic. I'm Alyssa with Interdimensional Astrophysics, and here's Mikayla with Mariposa Moonchild. What's up?
Hello.
Hi.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday. We're also recording this on a Friday, and I learned today that your hair is curly naturally.
Yes, my hair is naturally curly. Today I have it curly because I washed my hair yesterday.
Check it on the YouTube.
And usually it's like kind of frizzy, so I don't like to wear it curly. You know, you always don't like what you have. Yeah. I've always wished my hair was straight. Although I'm trying to embrace it more, which is why I left it like this today. But
I'm just shocked that I had
bit.
no idea that was what your natural hair looked like.
Well, I often brush it out, straighten it, and then curl it with a curling iron. And then I only wash my hair about once a week, so that that just stays like that.
It's so much work to do what you do, but I guess because you leave it in for like that for 10 days, I guess that makes more sense. But I don't know. That's way too much. That's way too much work for me. I don't really do anything to my hair like that.
Well, you also have straight hair,
true.
So
this is my natural hair.
So you don't, So you don't have to do anything to it, and hence why it's like this right now is because it was way too much work to do that today just for the pod. I would never.
All right, want to breathe? Tune us in.
Yeah,
let's do some deep breaths.
Sure, we can breathe
because I need them. So
all right. Okay, I need them. Okay, everyone, close your eyes, and don't be a dumbass if you can't close your eyes. Feet flat on the ground, if you're able to, hand on your heart. Let's take a couple, probably more than that, deep releasing breaths. So take a deep breath in, fill your lungs all the way to the top. Pause. And when you're ready, open your mouth and release. And do another one just like that. Filling your lungs all the way to the top. We're going to pause a little longer here this time. And when you're ready, release. Letting go of anything negative, anything weighing you down, anything that just feels heavy in this moment to you. Keep breathing just like that. Releasing any stress, fear, tension, or worry, letting it go with the breath, and moving down your chakra system into Mother Earth, letting it wash away, wash over you. One more deep breath together. All the way to the top. Hold. And release anything residual or excess that's left at this time. And when you're ready, open your eyes and come back to this moment.
Nice.
We forgot to do that on our last episode, so
here it is. All right.
Sorry, guys.
What's up?
It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday.
Which seat should I take? Am I right? I was obsessed with that song. It's really good if you think about it.
What?
That song?
It's a good song.
It's the beat is catchy. Which seat?
Friday. Get down on Friday. Well, that's all I get.
When they played it at the club when I was in college, it was lit. So
that
They played it. Well, because it came out when I was like a junior or senior in college, I think. And they played that shit out and we went crazy.
I was in high school when that came out. But if that came on at the club, I would be mortified. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean you want to dance to Rebecca Black over like Lil Wayne?
It was just such a jam. Well,
Get Low.
We did both. But it was, you know, it was the parody jam of the year, of the month. I don't know when it came out. Should I look up when it came out?
How do you even dance to that song?
Like college kids would.
Friday,
Rebecca Black.
I'd way rather have some hip hop and drop some ass.
2011.
2011?
Oh my God.
Jesus.
And it was February 10th, 2011. So we're almost at the anniversary. All right. This is not what this podcast was intended to be about.
I was in grade 9 in grade 11.
I was a freshman in college, actually. All right. Well, that was fun. Trip down memory lane.
Yeah. What's up? How are you doing?
Yeah. I'm pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good this week. I am on some real new shit with some routines. And, you know, it's actually been going really well. I feel like it was a good first trial week of it. So this was kind of initiated. Well, you know, it was really solidified by this Kundalini workshop I went to a week ago. And we all like went around and verbally promised some bare minimum workout, or not workout, bare minimum like meditation or a Kundalini work that we're all going to do every day. And really the moral of the story was like, okay, well, part of the importance of this has to do with the way that Kundalini works is it's rewiring your brain patterns and it's rewiring everything in your brain. And so it's based on consistency. When you do these certain movements every day, slowly but surely, things just change in your life. So there's a really important consistent pattern, kind of similar to meditation, but it's even more specific and more magical and powerful. And really the concept that we were all talking about, and that the leader of this, I'll give her a shout out because I love her, Pratam Suri. She's an amazing Kundalini teacher and I take her classes all the time. We were talking about how if you like try to instill a new habit in your life that takes less than 10 minutes a day, truly, if you're not doing something, if you try to make a promise yourself, I'm going to do this every day, and this thing takes less than 10 minutes and you don't do it, you're just truly an asshole. Like, there's really no excuse at a certain point when something takes such a short period of time. It's like, let's be real with ourselves. It's this aspect of discipline. And this is all so new for me because I had no discipline last year.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of take that personally, actually. Samsara, or whatever her name is.
Well, I don't know. It worked for me.
I do take it personally. Yeah. Like, I'm working with like patience and gentleness, and she's just gonna call me an asshole.
Yeah, take it up with her. It's just like, you know, there's so many times that we know that we can easily do something, and a lot of the times maybe we just choose not to. And when you, just the idea of adding something so simple and small into your routine, truly, if you really think about it, odds are most of the time you would have no excuse not to do it. And just working around this concept and just really trying to get real with ourselves and be like, no, like, let's start adding some new habits. Let's start getting real about improving our lives, and let's not take any bullshit from ourselves anymore. And personally, I'm at a stage where I'm able to do this. I was not at a stage where I was able to implement this last year. I would have just cried myself to sleep every day and been so mad at myself that I couldn't do this 5-minute thing. But where I'm at right now is I'm like, no, I have the discipline, or I'm going to start applying the discipline to myself to do it. And there's this thing in Kundalini, your sadhana is like your personal practice. So it's kind of a set of movements that you commit to yourself doing every day. And Kundalini Yoga is a very personal practice. There's these moves and everything, but you have your own personal experience with it. Mm-hmm. So that's what the sadhana is intended to do. And for me, I do a 3-minute now my new thing is doing this 3-minute addiction meditation where you have to press on the temples of your head, and it has to do with you're inviting new positive thought streams into your brain, into your neural patterning, and it's helped me a lot in the past. So now I'm making sure I do it every single day. And then the one I added on after that is called the Sat Kriya, and so what it does is it like sets your navel point. So there's a part of like inhaling. It's kind of a little breath worky, but it's inhaling something, but you have to pull in your stomach while you do it. So it sets your navel point, which is the center of your personal power. So there's a huge physicality to it, where it's like if you set your navel point in the beginning of the day, you're in your power. You are in control of yourself the whole day. You can't be tossed around. So now I do those two back to back every single day. And I've done it now for this whole week, 7 days. And I'm really committed to it. I'm really serious about it. And it's exciting to see myself take something so seriously, or be really serious and disciplined about something. So that's where I'm at. And I also got this app called Streaks, where you can document your progress or something that you want to do daily. It's to document habits and everything. And so it's also satisfying, because I'm like, yes, I got my streak on there. And it's like, who am I? Who am I doing these habits? Don't even recognize myself. And that's the point.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at on some new shit. And so I've also been getting you into Kundalini a little bit, and tell us about your experience with that.
I mean, I think I've done it about 3 times this week, or maybe I did it once last week and twice this week. So that's pretty good.
No, it is good. It's been good. You gotta ease yourself into it, and it's all about, it's a very personal experience. So just in general, it's like, it's the epitome of Kundalini is you don't know you can't have any opinion on it until you try it, and until you see how it works for yourself, until you have your own experience with it. So sorry, continue.
Definitely. I feel like I'm just starting to get into it, where it's like, you know, some more of like the mantras, or the different like exercises, or the different, because I guess it is like yoga, so the different like practices that you like to like stack on top of each other for your own practice. So I'm still like learning that a little bit, but I have noticed that it really does help regulate. And I think there's something that you were talking about it earlier, and I just wanted to mention how it's just like, it's moving like energy through the body, and how that's just like really important, because like our emotions get like stuck in our bodies, stress and stuff like that. And it's just like this really like potent like way of like moving energy out through your body.
Yeah. So what did you do today? Of Kundalini?
It's a good question. It's probably still up here.
Did you do like the first 30 minutes of a class?
I did the first 30 minutes of a class. This one was called Rhythm and Power Part 6 by Atma Santok.
Oh, nice.
And it was one of the first ones that popped up. It was on December 14th was when it was recorded, which is my birthday. Yeah, and it talked about the navel too. He's talked about, I guess, how the December is a month of the navel. So we talked about that, and he said, I don't know, something to do with Jupiter and the characteristics of expansion and prosperity. Yeah. So we're working on third eye, chakra, creativity, digestion. So this one, I would like to finish it. I got about 30 minutes in. And we did some different ones than what I was used to. Like we did kind of the beginning tune in or whatever. And then we did one on our back where you put your one leg up, and then with your other leg, you kick your butt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've done that before.
Yeah. And he said that one was really good for like stability and security and even abundance. So it's just like,
that, like those types of practices, or this, what my teacher says is there's a lot of self-regulation or self-soothing practices where you are kicking your own butt, or sometimes you're using your hands to massage yourself, or you're hitting your thighs with your own hands. And the way she describes it is there are some things, well, it's true that this is kind of how everything is, but there are some things that only you can be your own healer for yourself. So that's, I just think the mentality or the teaching behind that, the things where you're like hitting, you're hitting your own body, stuff like that, you're kicking yourself, sounds more dangerous than it is, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
But it's just, I like that concept of you saving yourself, you healing yourself.
Yeah, so he said it was like some type of triangle, and it was just like releasing things that were like stuck in the legs. And my legs have been very sore the last couple of days because the last Kundalini that I did, there's this one that was like you go into frog and then you like stand up.
Frog squats.
And we did that over and over.
Oh my God, yeah, those make your legs burn.
Holy shit. Yeah, so my legs have been really hurting after that. Have been really tight. Apparently that wants to ground it in for money. Like, who doesn't want to bring in some more money? So We'll see how that goes. But yeah, my legs have been really tight from that. So then just like stretching them out today and like kicking the butt made sense. And then right after that one, it was like where you go up on your, like you hold your legs up in the air and you like put your hands behind your back.
I'm still
and you,
working on that position very much. I can't really fully prop myself up like that, but it's a good one. I'm working on that.
Yeah, I can get myself like up there, but like he was like, oh, like touch the ground with your feet. And I was like, oh shit. So they're not quite touching the ground. And so I was doing that one back and forth. And that's kind of where I ended right before I thought that I would meditate for a bit and then hop on the pod.
Nice. Well, I'm proud of you for trying something new, because that's the hardest part, right? Like getting into some new practice or just trying it for the hell of it. So yeah.
I've been liking it. Yeah, I think I just have to keep getting into my own practice. And then like a lot of the Kundalini, like the sessions are like an hour and a half. And that kind of seems like long for me right now. But then I think it's like also telling myself that's okay if you only do half an hour or if you only do this set amount. But yeah, I would like to get into a routine more in the morning of doing it, because I do find it does really help like regulate and just like kind of clear your energy and just like set you up for the day. Because I was like, I've been kind of stressed out this week. I was particularly stressed, I want to say Tuesday night, I think Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. And then I did like the Kundalini the Wednesday morning, and I felt a lot better after that. Like I felt a lot more like regulated and just like calm, and like it wasn't like as bothering me as much anymore.
That's good. Yeah, it's like some of the things you can just have an extremely powerful experience. That's why, like for me, I'm trying to make sure I'm motivating myself to continue doing these full classes, because there's all these new movements that I've never done, or you can just get really, really deep into some kind of breath work thing that you like lose yourself a bit and you come back to your body feeling like a new person. And it's just, you can have these really deep personal experiences within these different movements. And that's what I feel like, those are the experiences that make me keep going back to it, or that, I'll have a really powerful personal experience and I'm like, whoa, that was amazing. That was crazy. So it's, you build a personal relationship with it, but that's good. Yeah, definitely. It definitely makes you feel better. It helps regulate you and everything. So I'm glad that it worked.
Yeah, I'm interested to like learn more and dive into it more, because it is just very interesting, like the techniques and moves of like just like how you move energy and just like tone and attune. It's very interesting and different. I asked Bryce yesterday, I was like, will you do Kundalini with me this weekend? So I don't know what he's gonna think about it, but we'll see.
You should. Yeah, you guys should just do like a full class or something. Or I don't know if he's gonna want to do that, but
oh no, he will not. No, that'll be too much for now. But even if we just like do a little bit of it, because he'll be like, he'll have probably a hard time keeping it. Well, I don't know for sure, but so maybe this is just my projection, but keeping some of the movements going, because like I guess for the people listening, like you have to like do things with your arms or your fingers, or like, and you just like do them over and over and over, and you breathe like, and you just like keep going, and you're just like, is this guy gonna never tell me to stop? And you just keep going, and it's like, I guess not. And you just keep going. A lot
of repetition, and it's a lot of starting a movement and starting a breath work, and you not knowing how long you're going to be doing it for. And that's the best case scenario. It's the best when they don't tell you, because then 10 minutes go by and you're like, fuck, if I had known that I was going to be doing this for 10 minutes, I don't know what I would have done, because I probably would have done it anyway, but I would have been more pissed about it.
Yeah. So it's a lot of just like mental, just like, well, I guess discipline. Yes. And in your head, like I was telling my, I'd be like, you can do this. But then there was like a point where like I literally, like my arms just like gave out. I was like, oh, I need to take a break. I even texted Alyssa and was like, is it okay if you just like can't finish it? And she's like, oh yeah, I do that all the time. I was like, okay, good. I didn't know if I was like the only one.
Yeah, just like anything. Put your arms down, take a break, go back in whenever you're ready.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's a practice, so.
Nice. So what else? Anything else going on, or anything else helping you through this time?
I'm holding it right now. I've been particularly drawn to this stone today.
Wasn't expecting you to say that.
Which is weird because because I don't know. Like, it's been sitting with my crystals.
Carnelian?
I don't think I've ever picked it up and I was going to ask you, because you're the crystal queen. So I was going to ask you what you thought it was, because I have no idea. I don't know what most of my crystals even are.
It's either carnelian or red jasper. It actually looks a little bit more carnelian-like to me. It's definitely either carnelian or red jasper.
So tell us.
I'm looking it up. I think one of the two. It definitely looks like it could be carnelian. Carnelian sometimes leans a little more orangey. Well, no, I think it could be carnelian. I'd have to see. Does it have any like stripes? Because you know how red tiger's eye would be. That was what I said, right? Is the other thing? Did I say? Or red jasper?
No, you said red jasper, which I think that's a possibility. It could either be red jasper or red
tiger's eye if it has some stripies.
I feel like it's not probably tiger's eye, but it's kind of
probably
like
red jasper actually.
I have a feeling that that's what it is, but I don't usually ever see it or notice it or pick it up. So it's just kind of funny that I picked it up this morning when I was sitting by the fire journaling. I just looked at it and just like gravitated towards it, and I've actually had it with me ever since.
Oh, well, maybe you probably need some root chakra grounding. Maybe, well, it's red. It's red.
And that's what the Kundalini I was doing was kind of about, he said. Chakras. So it was really like grounding in security and like stability. Yeah. But did you look it up about what red jasper is?
Oh, like the meaning? Or
the meaning, or what's it going to help me with, or is this going to fix my life?
I think so. Just put it under your pillow.
I'll just put it under my tongue for a couple days.
Like, it's so funny. When I never even look up, in terms of meanings of crystals, I usually just go by color and chakra, because that tends to be a safe bet. If, the colors, like, for example, like green, or also green, like, what's that green crystal? Malachite is green. And it's like abundance, and it's heart chakra stuff. So the colors tend to correspond to chakras. Okay, ground yourself with, so reds usually are for grounding and for root chakra. Ground yourself with red jasper gemstone. Helps with balance, stamina, courage, strength. The stone of endurance.
I love that for me.
Love that for you too. Yeah, align with the root chakra. It's inviting you to keep one foot firmly on the floor no matter how high you are flying. So stay on the ground, bitch. Which, that's relevant.
I could use some grounding.
Your nervous system has been a little on the fritz, so.
Yeah. So with that, I'm good. I'm feeling a little bit more regulated after my Kundalini this morning and my meditation and my practice. However, I'm working through some wedding planning stuff right now, particularly with my mother. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to get into all of it because I feel like that's probably not appropriate for the podcast, but I'm sure that anyone out there that's listening that has done a wedding, that probably also has a mother, but sometimes stuff like this comes up. So at this point in my experience, I'm just feeling very overwhelmed and very frustrated and very stressed out. Also with my relationship with her a little bit to do with this. So I am doing my best on navigating how to move through that. Also, because we also talked about some other things this week where it's just like my inner child wants to scream and freak out like a teenager.
Yeah, I don't know, like we had parallel triggers that are completely different topics, but I had something come up this week too, and with my parents, and it was just this like, I wanted to resort to some teenager passive aggressive shit and just be like, well, fine. Well, now, like that.
Yeah. Well, that's how I felt too. It was like very like, that inner child that comes up. That's just like, fuck you.
Yep.
That's how I felt anyway. So I'm like learning to like kind of sit with that and like see my inner child and like sit with like what's coming up, but at the same time not get like overwhelmed in it. I mean, I am overwhelmed, but like, I mean, not overwhelmed. That wasn't the right word. Like overtaken by my emotions and being reactive. That's what I'm trying to like focus on. It's what is the like most graceful way to respond, which holds up my truth, but is also gentle and graceful, like I said. So, and that's a practice, and that's what I'm like also learning to do a little bit right now.
Yeah. And so,
because like,
what did your mentor say? You asked him for some help?
Yeah. Well, so I spoke to my mentor about this, and I sent him some very long voice memos. So shout out to him. Appreciate you. Love you. And I don't know if I think I've talked about this a little bit on the podcast, but I have finished my Sophia code
book.
Oh, a dog. Just sorry.
Is Spirit talking to you again?
Spirit's always talking to me. Always. Even when I have sessions with clients, I just recently had a session with a client and I would just like stop talking and I'm like, sorry. Anyways. And I'm just like, I'm kind of like that, but it's not a bad thing. It's just the way I am. No, I seen a dog like running around. So kind of like close to our backyard. So I was just checking that out.
Nice.
Because my window's open for this like beautiful lighting. However, I finished the Sophia code. So my study with that, I mean, I'm very much not finished that, but I'm finished the reading of it, still doing integration. And there's a lot more stuff to do with those overnighting mentors. However, I finished the reading. So now my next study is the Gene Keys.
Bryce got you that for Christmas, right?
Bryce did get this for me for Christmas. Yes. I had a PDF file from my mentor that I'd been reading off for a while, but I really wanted a book copy so that I could read it at night and not have to like strain my eyes from looking at a screen or like take on the blue light. I've been trying to. Actually, I shouldn't say this. In my head, I've been like, you should limit your blue light before you go to bed. Am I really trying to do that? I don't know.
I know.
but
the amount of times I'm like, I'm not gonna look at who am I kidding? I'm just scrolling the reels right before bed.
I mean, like all day, every day, my phone is on night mode or like, so like.
Yeah, where it's a little redder.
Yes. So my phone's always like that, which I think like limits blue light or takes that away. But then it's like harder with like the TV or something, like especially if you're like, oh, let's just like chill and like watch a movie before bed or watch a TV show before bed, which is like pretty customary. Like everyone does that. But not so great for the eyes. So I need to look into some blue light glasses, I think maybe for that.
That is a thing.
I seen some recently, but they said they were like $120 and they filtered out 30%. And I'm like, is that normal? That doesn't.
I don't know what the normal amount for it to filter out is, but
Yeah, I would think all of it. I thought that's the whole fucking point.
100% or nothing.
Exactly. Just like life, you give it all or nothing. All or nothing. Okay, so anyways, my next point of study is the gene keys. And I am still learning very much about the gene keys. But we'll talk about what my mentor said to me specifically. So he listened to me very graciously, and he said, take some time to slow down. Take some time to be still, then connect, respond, and read these 4 gene keys, and all the answers that you seek will be in these gene keys.
Yeah, that was very specific.
This is fun.
I was like, okay, well, tell us. Wait, so
he's always like this.
So just for some context for a second, the gene keys that he told you to read, are those... Okay, gene keys, it's similar to human design as far as I know. Stuff that has to do with your birth chart and things, what aspects of your body and your DNA that's either turned on or not turned on, stuff like that. So everyone has a signature makeup.
Like a chart.
So the ones that he told you to read were those like he knows that that's in your chart and you're reading like I'm this type of way or something, and that's what's going to help you? Or was he just having you read like general ones? That was what I was curious about.
I haven't actually checked yet if they're in my chart, but my chart is actually up on my tab, so I can look at that in a second. However, a lot of the time they aren't necessarily in my chart because we also move through the gene keys collectively.
Oh, I don't know that.
Yes. So collectively we'll be in a different energy of the gene keys. And it's really interesting because last week when we had our ascension episode, I believe we were in a gene keys of ascension because I had a lot of questions about ascension too. And I actually reached out to my mentor and was like, what is ascension? Because I was just curious to hear his explanation of it. And he's like, well, we're actually in the gene keys of ascension right now if you want to like read it. And I was like, oh, wow, I didn't even know there was a gene keys of ascension.
News to me too. That's cool. And I like that we timed with that on the podcast last week's.
Yeah. So, so that is really cool that we did that. So in your chart, and maybe I'll pull up my chart in a second. So yeah, each person has a chart that's generated for them, similar to astrology, but different, or like it's very similar to human design. I don't really know what the differences are, but there are some differences, but very similar. So there's like 64 overall gene keys, and they all correlate to, literal like DNA in your body. Like this one that I just flipped through to literally says like the codon ring, the ring of purification. Then it says physiology, solar plexus, digestion, and then your amino acid is glutamine. So it's very biological as well as, I don't know what the other word would be. Spiritual. So it's very interesting. So not everyone, as a collective, we move through all of these, and you probably will experience them all, but there's different ones placed in different spots of your chart, but then those charts have different meanings. So I'm going to look at the charts in a second, but I'm just going to go look at the ones that he told me to read. So he said, and this happens a lot where I like will come to him with something and he's just like, read Gene Keys 20.
He's like, turn to page 124, third paragraph. And he just disappears into the abyss.
Yeah, pretty much. He's exactly like that. It's crazy because I'm just like, how do you know what all of these are? But he's been in this study for a while. I know this study is going to be really important to me. The Gene Keys, like this guy, Richard Rudd, just like channeled this book, and like it is fucking pure genius. Like it is so genius.
Awesome.
But anyways, I will get to the ones that he told me to read because I'm just gonna see what they say because I feel like it's important. So he said the 38th, the gene key, which is the warrior of light. So the Siddhi is honor, the gift is perseverance, and the shadow is struggle. And then sometimes the gene keys like go together. So then he's like, and then the 39th one, the Siddhi is, so I'm going to like also double check what the Siddhi means. I think it kind of means like once you transcend through like the shadow and the gift, like the overarching thing, and then like that's what you like are now, it's in your DNA. is the Siddhi. So that would be liberation, and you're just there now. It's like unlocked, and it's just like a part of you. That's my interpretation. I don't really know for sure because I'm still learning a lot about this. But interesting enough, I just said I turned to the 39th gene key, and it's the tension of transcendence, which is kind of funny because I just said transcendence. And the Siddhi is liberation. The gift is dynamism. How do you say that?
Dynamism?
Dynamism?
I didn't even know that was a
Feels
word. Like dynamic is a word, but it's dynamic in ism form.
Yeah, it's dynamism. Dynamism?
Yeah.
Dynamism? Like, I feel like I should pronounce that better. Anyways, and the shadow is provocation. Yeah.
Gene Key's just making up words out here. Come on.
I guess so. And then even that, like, it's like the physiology, adrenals, amino acids, serene. So that's really interesting because, like, the amino acids are, like, right on your DNA. And then he said the 4th and the 49th. So let's go to 49th first. The 49th is shadow is reaction. Oh, go figure. Gift is revolution. Siddhi is rebirth. And then the 4th one goes with that one. There's 64 altogether. So I have lots of studying to do today. The 4th gene key, the universal panacea, whatever that is. Shadow is intolerance. Gift is understanding. Siddhi is forgiveness.
This is an interesting concept with the 3 different things. So shadow, gift, and then the Siddhi. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So it's like, so it's like the negative side of the polarity, the positive side of the polarity, and then it's almost like the neutral, the lesson of the polarity, right?
I think so. I think that's kind of when you like reach just like is, like you just are that, like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna try to see if I can find something that speaks to what the Siddhi means a little bit more, because this is also important to me as I'm learning.
That makes sense.
And like the front of the book, the gene keys, embracing your higher purpose. And like here, like I haven't even read the beginning. I think I need to read the beginning before I like get into all the gene keys. But even here, it like we're looking at a cell, people. Like this is like a cell in your body. It's like breaking it down. So I think that's really cool, especially with us like often talking about like bringing spirituality and science together. Like this very much like does that for those people that kind of like that like practical part of it. Okay. Cool. The 3 classic paths to truth: concentration, contemplation, meditation leads to embodiment. Okay, here we go. So the shadows are your passage through the underworld. So lock, keys, and codes, the path from the shadow to the Siddhi. When you work with the shadow gene keys, you are working with real physiological fears lodged deep into your subconscious. Yes. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yep, it definitely makes sense. Okay. The 64 gifts, the opening of your heart. The higher the frequency of your DNA, the more sensitive you become to the energy fields around you. I mean, I obviously can't read all of this, so I'm just... Okay, the Siddhi. So the Siddhi is an encyclopedia of enlightenment. Which is interesting. I'm trying to see. In this ability of DNA to weave light around itself that reveals its true hidden role within your body, to act as a superconductor whose sole purpose is to exponentially increase the frequency passing in and out of your body. So let me just see if I can find something quick on the Siddhi. As your contemplation of the gene keys continues to deepen and activate the gifts in your life, your frequency becomes gradually higher and more refined. At a certain point in this process, contemplation spontaneously gives way to absorption. Absorption is a very high frequency state of consciousness in which your DNA begins to trigger your endocrine system to secrete certain rarefied hormones on a continual basis. These hormones, which include blah, 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 I'm not going to say them all, are associated with higher brain functioning and involve states of spiritual illumination and transcendence. Absorption can only occur when your aura is generating a frequency high enough to continually feed off its own electromagnetic field. Ooh. At such a stage, it is no longer possible to be drawn back into the lower frequencies for more than brief periods of time. Both the gift frequency and the Siddhi frequency involve quantum leaps in consciousness. The group consciousness of humanity stands poised to make the huge transition out of the shadow frequency and into a newly stabilized awareness in the gift frequency. This is what will catalyze a global genetic mutation. At the same time, there's another far smaller group of human beings poised to make the transition from the gift to the Siddhi frequency. The word Siddhi comes from the Sanskrit meaning divine gift. These exists much ancient lore surrounding the Siddhis. There's even an established tradition that states that exactly 64 of them. In the context of the gene keys, the 64 Siddhis are the biological expressions of the ultimate human state of enlightenment. They are quite literally an encyclopedia of the many expressions of spiritual realization. Whoa.
Yeah, this is cool. It's like the biology of what's going on, and what they said that there's a global change in DNA. So that's fitting from our Ascension episodes because it's,
and I think we should do another episode where we kind of tag on to that episode of the Ascension episode, because we didn't even talk about the human DNA changing, I don't think. No. And that's something that's really cool and I really want to talk about too. And that's very much like what the Gene Keys is talking about, because like our DNA is changing to like hold this higher frequency that we're ascending into. So like on a biological level, we're not going to have like these shadows of violence or hate or greed or whatever it is, even like biologically, like in our DNA, like it's just not going to exist. It's just not going to be possible. So it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. And the body is like things from past lives or past life traumas and stuff like that gets lodged in your physical blueprint too. So it's like those things are being cleared out too by the light. And it's, so much is changing in the body with DNA, and it's so cool. And there's also the fact that we have that scientists say that 95% of our DNA is junk DNA. And I had this conversation, like it was funny. At my friend's Christmas party, I was talking to this girl's boyfriend who's doing his PhD in biology, and I was asking him, and I had just finished my PhD too, and I was asking him about his research, and he does stuff with DNA, and so then of course, like I cornered him, and I was like, okay, I have a question. So they say that we have 95%, and it was just so classic. Like my friends just hear me in the corner talking to someone about like DNA and aliens, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Alyssa's just doing her thing." So I was like, I asked, okay, let me just say, I basically got unofficial confirmation that there was external tampering with our DNA, and he gave the answer. And so I was just asking him if there was. I was saying how what I've learned from ancient aliens.
Okay, whoa. Yeah, you said he confirmed that there's been external tampering? Yes. Like, you can't just, like that's crazy.
He did, but they say they have some asleep biology term for it. He did not say that it was aliens. I was like, well, what if there was other DNA?
Who did it?
This guy was not.
That's insane, though. That's, like, huge.
He said in some other extremely scientifical way. I think I was also a little drunk during this conversation. He said in some scientific way that I think that oh my God, I totally forgot what he was attributing it to. Something with there was something that he probably didn't use the word intervene, because that would have given me too much rope with me trying to insist that it was otherworldly DNA that intervened. he's had some other explanation for it, but he really did, in reading in between the lines, he really did confirm that something is weird with our DNA and the fact that it's so perfect in the way that it is. There's a lot of mysteries around that. So we'll circle back to this conversation. But it was cool talking to someone that is studying and getting their PhD in DNA. I was like, once I heard what it was about, I was like, I have a question for you. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the DNA is very, very interesting. There's certainly a lot of mysteries around that. Did that kind of answer your question about like the Siddhi, what that actually is?
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot more, but I want to look up my profile and just kind of give, why is it limited? That's strange. Sorry, I'm just going on. I set like a limit on my phone for like going on things and stuff for in the morning, but it shouldn't be limited right now. It's just being slow. I have it pulled up on my browser site too. I also pulled up Bryce's the other day because I'm going to get into your head, buddy. But
time to know all of your secrets.
I have mine pulled up here, but I want to actually show it what it looks like on the YouTube, and that's kind of hard to do on my browser, so
I can put in a picture.
Yeah, so we could do that, but I'll just show it quick. So this is just like what a random chart looks like up here. And then, so looking at, I think this is mine. Yeah, this is my chart. I won't use Bryce's because it's probably a little bit invasive. So I'm still learning how to actually like read a chart and even what it means. But however, I seen this. So I guess this was kind of hard for the people. Your activation is like these green like bubbles. So there's like purpose at the bottom, and then it goes to radiance, and then evolution, and then your life's work at the top. And then there's your Venus, which goes to purpose, attraction, IQ, EQ, SQ, core, and then your Pearl, which goes vocation, Pearl, culture, brand. I'm still very much learning these things, but so then let me see. For me, my life's work is the Siddhi, is invisibility. The gift is artfulness. And the shadow is pride.
Your Siddhi is invisibility?
Yes.
Whoa. What does that mean?
I know. I don't know. I haven't even read that one yet.
Sneaky.
So that's kind of interesting. Yeah.
It's like,
especially because it's the Siddhi. It's not like negative invisible. It's
right.
Like it's like that's where you want to be.
It's like some new ascended perspective of enlightenment. I don't know. Nothing super crazy like that. Or maybe.
Your activation, which I said before, it would be your genius. Your Venus is your love, and your Pearl is your prosperity. So yeah, I don't know if anyone is interested to learn more, you can like generate your own chart. Just if you go to like genekeys.com, you can just like make your own free profile, and then there's like a lot of ways to like learn more and stuff. But yeah, it's generated, and then it gives a little thing. So like here it says my purpose, what deeply fulfills me. So that's my gene key 36. It gives me a little spiel on that. Same with my radiance, what keeps me healthy is gene key 6. My evolution, what I'm here to learn, is gene key 45. And my life's work, what I'm here to do, is gene key 26.
Nice.
Anyways, yeah. So maybe on another episode you can bring up yours. Yeah. I'd be curious to see about it.
I can talk for a second about my aspects of my human design that are very characteristic for me. So human design is similar to astrology, similar to gene keys, but it's just more specific. I don't know. It's probably similar amounts of specific to gene keys, but at least, so in my human design, my aura human design sets gives these 5 different types of auras. And so since I'm a manifester, my aura is repelling. So it's super, it was so enlightening when I learned all about my human design. It was really one of those journeys that I was like, wow, my life makes a lot more sense. It was one of those things, which was always fun, because part of the repelling manifester human design is that there's a subconscious. It's a huge thing, which we were just talking about this today and yesterday for me. It's a huge thing of can't be controlled by other people. It's a huge unpredictability thing. It's like, we're unpredictable. We're just always extremely independent, just going to be somewhere here 1 second, gone the next. And so what's the most interesting about this, though, is the subconscious effect that your aura has on other people. So manifestors, because of our closed, repelling aura, people can feel threatened by us, like, and not know why, but it's this subconscious, it's not like a jealousy thing, it's this subconscious, I don't know what you're going to do next. You're unpredictable to me. And because I don't know what you're about to do, I'm threatened or I'm taken aback by you.
Are you just a manifester?
Yeah.
I'm a generator.
Yeah, you're a manifesting generator. There's manifestor, manifesting generator, projector.
I don't think so. I think I'm pure generator.
You're a generator, right? You're not a manifesting generator, right? And the other thing, like you were just saying in Gene Keys, I want to look at my Gene Keys now too. Well, not right now, but I will. So in human design, you have this one specific, I think there's like 150 different options of your certain cross, which has your whole like life trajectory. And so mine is the right angle cross of tension, which means that I'm kind of here to cause tension, which makes sense. And
I am too. That's the Scorpio in me.
And what I was going to say too is it reminds me of, I had an astrology reading with the Peace Dealer, shout out, that my brother got me for my PhD. And what was he said? Part of what he said about my chart was, he was like, your very existence is controversial. And I was like, yeah, I can see that. So just kind of a lot of these themes of tension and just stirring the pot in my chart, in my human design. I think I love human design though. I think the stuff about the auras is so cool because each type has a different aura that goes along with it, and it just feels really accurate.
Yeah. I should definitely get you into Gene Keys because your scientific computer mind will figure it out a lot quicker than me.
That'd be cool.
I take a little bit longer to like understand things, but yeah, and they very much like go together. Like even this, I have this picture on my phone of my like Gene Keys chart, and like in the corners, like I'm pretty sure is a human design chart. So
yeah, I think
they do very much go together because this is my Gene Keys and it says pure generator right on it, and then my line would be 6-2. Role model and hermit.
Mm-hmm.
What are your
I'm
lines?
a 1-3. I'm an investigative martyr, and so the one I lead with, my purpose is needing to know more information, is constantly on the search for knowledge and for information, which that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that checks out. Another thing that resonated. Checks. Yeah, when I looked at my Gene Keys chart, I do believe it's very similar to human design, or it's like it has the same shapes or something like that.
Yeah, it does. Because here's my human design, it's pulled up too. Yeah. Oh, and it's so how does human design work? How like some are like shaded in and some have colors and some aren't? Like what does all that mean? Do you even know?
So what's filled in means that there's aspects, I believe, so it has to do with what is conscious and unconscious. Okay, well at least the colors, and depending on there's the conscious and unconscious aspects of yourself. In general, it has to do with what, if you were read this specific explanation, like some things resonate to your conscious mind because you recognize them in yourself, and then there's a whole other shadow aspect, so it is similar in that sense, but the shadow aspect is things that you don't even know about yourself yet, so things that are true for you but you kind of discover them along the way in your life. So they're not in the forefront of your conscious. So it's like conscious and unconscious aspects. And I think too in human design, it's like one is set by exactly what your chart would be 90 days before your birth, and one is set on at your moment of birth.
Yes, that's the same. Yeah, I'm literally
which is
reading that
wild
on there right now. Because yes, September 17th, 1995, and I was looking at it. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Which
is just, that opens up so many other doors of like, what the hell, how does that work when it comes to your soul incarnating and choosing?
Yeah.
So it's like, I think your soul chooses the exact day 90 days before. I think there's a whole lot more precision going on up there in soul unborn baby land than we think. I think it's set maybe by the soul. I mean, it is.
It makes me think of
that makes sense.
Of that movie Soul. So I'm like thinking of that little like ghosty blob that's like up there, and he's like, I don't want to.
I love that movie. I want to watch that again.
It's super cute.
I love it.
I think we're gonna be watching some Disney movies this weekend. Yeah. Bryce just got Disney Plus, so
yeah, they should have everything on there, right?
Yeah, Netflix was getting a little lame.
I know. Netflix is lame. I only like New Girl on there.
Well, I need give me something reality TV right now. Like Love is Blind, The Ultimatum, give me something.
Well, Love is Blind.
There's nothing.
Love is Blind is coming with the After the Altar soon. There's going to be 3 episodes that were a catch up from.
And when's that happening?
February 10th.
Oh, that's great.
I'm excited.
That's really good. And I think I keep seeing Too Hot to Handle pop up. I hate Too Hot to Handle.
Oh, me too. I only watched the first season and it was just weird. Nah, not a fan.
Yeah.
I remember my friends were watching the second season and it was like, everyone was like, oh, have you caught up? And I'm like, oh, I guess I never really cared enough.
I started the second season, and also I guess hate was a strong word. I'm exaggerating, but not my favorite. I watched the first one too, and the first one was okay because it was like a new thing. You didn't really know what was happening. And then I started the second one and I was like, wow, this is really dumb. And I stopped watching it. I've just never been able to pick it up. Like a couple times I've put it on in the background while I've literally been on my computer or my phone, like actually doing work, and I never paid attention to any of it. And now I just don't even put it on. I don't even know why they keep making them. And there's no way, how do these people not know that they're going on this show? How are they so surprised when it's like, this is too hot to handle? They're like, oh, fuck. Whatever. You're going to be a fucking influencer after this anyway.
I know. There is a new one coming out though that's going to be like a whole one of those Netflix ones, but it's a conglomeration of all these people from Love is Blind, Too Hot to Handle, so I'm excited about that. It's coming out soon.
Oh, interesting. That's weird though, because it's also kind of you had your chance.
Yeah, well, that's the point. It's like paradise. It's like Bachelor in Paradise for Netflix love shows.
Interesting. Even have you started watching The Bachelor this season?
I've been watching every week.
Of course. Anyways, this is not a reality TV pod, so we don't need to start recapping. All right,
next week we're recapping Bachelor episode 4.
Well, I'm not actually watching it, so that might be kind of tough.
That will be tough in that case. All right, so I think that's where we're gonna wrap for today. This was a nice chill little episode, little catch up, Kundalini, gene keys, me harassing someone at a party to tell me about why our DNA is of alien origin, just of those
2 amino acids,
those kinds of things. Yeah.
Happy Friday, guys.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna wrap there, and thank you for listening. Make sure to rate, review, subscribe. Find us on YouTube. Subscribe over there. Definitely give us a rating and review. And
follow us on our Instagram at the Orphic Podcast, as well as follow Alyssa at interdimensional.physics.
Astrophysics.
Yeah. Interdimensional.astrophysics. Yeah. Follow me at Mariposa Moonchild.
Nice.
And yeah, please like our videos and comment and subscribe, because it really, really helps us out, and we really, really, really appreciate you. And because that would be your good deed of the day. It would be your
good deed. Thanks. And grab a friend's phone and also subscribe. I'm sure
do that. Grab your grandma's phone.
They would love this information, right? Force it upon them.
And also rate it on their phone.
Yeah, exactly. That's mainly what we mean. All right. So thank you for being here, and we will catch you next time. Bye.
Peace.